Hello guys, hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is True Gospel Talks. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about how to raise godly children. First of all, you have to be godly. You have to be godly. You have to be godly because if you look at the things happening in our world today, you will discover that it's just like everything is just worldly. Like everything is just worldly. The devil has brought up different schemes, he has brought up different things to destroy the lives of many people. He has brought up different things because that's his mission. His mission is to destroy what God has built. So you have to lay a good foundation for your children, and that foundation is for you to be godly. That foundation is for you to be godly. If you are not godly, you cannot bear godly seeds. If you are not godly, you cannot train godly children. Because if you are godly, you will realize that children are gifts from God. Children are gifts from God, gift that God has given to you. So the way you handle these gifts determines how these gifts would be. Okay, so you have to be godly. I'm telling you, even it's not really about the discipline. How many times you have been disciplined to child? There are many children that they have strict parents that discipline them so much that even and at the end of the day you discover that these same children, when their parents goes away, they will still go and do those things that their parents ask them not to do. So you have to be godly. You have to lay the foundation. You have to be the example for your children. You have to live an exemplary life. The life you want your kids to live, you have to start living that kind of life. Let them emulate you. Let them get those things from you. There's some characters that children bear that you, as a parent, you're even surprised. Like, where did they get this from? So they have to emulate you as a mom and as a dad. What you do in front of your children really matters a lot. Then thirdly, you have to trust God with them. You have to put them in the hand of God for God to help you, because training a child, you can't do it on your own. I'm telling you, you cannot do it on your own. You have to trust God. You have to trust Him to help you. You have to trust Him to give you the guidance on what you should do. Trust Him to give you the guidance on what you should do. Fourthly, you have to help your children to cultivate their relationship with God, to build their relationship with God. Teach them how to know God, how to build their relationship with God. Let them know. Let them know. I can use my husband as an example because he always tell me this, that his mom always tell him that that he can do it himself, that he doesn't really need a pastor to come and tell him maybe when to pray, or to come and pray for him before he will get what he's asking from God. This was a seed that his mother sowed inside of him. Until today that he's married, he still believes that same thing. That same seed is inside of him because he had a godly mother. He had a godly mother. Okay, so she laid that seed inside of him, telling him that, listen, you can do this, or you can seek God and find Him on your own. You don't need anyone to show you, or anyone to tell you, or anyone to come pray for you. You don't need to pay any pastor, any prophet to pray for you. Because God is the same God they have, is the same God you have. That was what his mom told him. Until date, he is in his 30s. Yet that same seed is inside of him. That same thing that his mom told him is still inside. And the seed is spreading out wherever he goes to. He tell people, listen, he told me that God is more closer to me than my clothes. God is more closer to me than my clothes. So when you sow this kind of seed in the life of your child, when this child go out and people are telling him things that you have not told this child about God, people are telling him things in school. They're telling him you can do this. You are free to dress like a guy, look like this, look like that. And you did not tell your child that kind of a thing. Because of the seed you have sown in the life of that child will not take such thing. So you have to help them cultivate a healthy relationship with God. Help them cultivate relationship with God. Make them to know God more. Make them to understand the importance of service to God, the importance of serving God. Why it's important to serve God. And if you have a teenager with you, you don't have to be so strict on them. You have to open their eyes, let them see the consequences of having sexual relationship. Teach them all these things. Because when you come with that strictness with them, you will end up scaring them away from you. So bring them close and show them, let them see the consequences of taking drugs, consequences of having premarital sex, consequences of disobedience. Let them see it all. And while you are doing that with them, while you are telling them that, you have to also be praying for them, praying for their future, praying for people they will meet in the future, praying that the people that they will meet, instead of them to influence your child will influence them by the way of the Lord. Fifthly, you have to teach them to be witnesses of Christ. Witnesses of Christ. Let them be witnesses of Christ. Teach them how to bear witness what the Bible says. Instead of giving them the Spider-Man, Superman game, no. Let them watch movies that pertain to Christ. Then fourthly, you have to teach them to be respectful. Let them be respectful. Teach them to be respectful. Wherever they go, let them be respectful. It will always bring glory back to you. There are many children today, they do not have respect. I'm telling you. They do not have respect. They lack it. You have to teach them these things while they are still young. Teach them while they are still young. Okay? You have to teach them these things while they're still young. And even if you have a teenager, or maybe you don't have a small baby right now, you have a teenager with you that has, gone wide, that has lived a rebellious life, and you are trying to be like, okay, how can I be able to bring this child close to me? Listen, as a mom or as a dad watching this right now, you have to realize that God gave you that child. Bible says, if the foundation be destroyed, what shall the righteous do? What can the righteous do? You take the child back to the Creator. You take the house back to the Creator. Okay? So, if you have a child and she's a teenager and she has lost it, you don't have to push that child away. Keep praying. Keep praying. Don't stop. Because this is the devil taking your joy away from you. You have to keep praying. You have to keep praying for them. You know the joy you felt. I was in church one day and a lady, she came to me. She was like, her 21-year-old was living with her boyfriend. Her 21-year-old was living with her boyfriend, and she was like, okay, I'm just gonna leave her. I'll just leave her to, do whatever thing she wants to do. I told her, no. You don't leave her to go and come back. No. All you have to do is go on your knees and intercede You are the womb that bare this child. You are the womb that gave birth to this child. And this is the devil trying to steal this child away from you. So you don't have to give up. You have to go on your knees, pray for this child. Pray this child out of that lifestyle. Bible says that children, they are gifts from God. God gave them to you. Teach them the Bible. I'm telling you, because even if you teach a child, like, let everything you are teaching them be according to the Bible, according to scripture. Bring out examples from the Bible and teach them. Examples from the Bible. We have the life of Joseph. Joseph was a youth. Joseph did not misuse the days of his youth. He had opportunity to sleep with Potiphar's wife, but he refused because he had a relationship with God. So I'm telling you that if you teach your child how to cultivate a personal relationship with God, that relationship is what will draw that child back. Even if that child is outside, that relationship with God will draw that child always back to the feet of Christ. I'm telling you, that relationship. So teach these children, teach them. Let them know these things. Teach them. Let them become weapons in the hand of God. Teach them. You can't do it on your own. Discipline them, but you cannot do it on your own. Ask God for wisdom. Ask Him for guidance. Ask Him for wisdom. Ask Him for guidance. When I was then while I was little, my dad would, after he has disciplined us, he would call us back. He always do that. I noticed that when I was small. So he would call us back. He would like, "Do you know why I flogged you? Do you know why I flogged you?" I'll say no. I'll say no. Yes, I was crying. I'll say no. He would say, "Because you did this thing. Don't do it next time." Then he would carry us, he would go and buy us biscuits, we would eat. So that was how he brought us up. That was how he brought us up. So bring your children up in that same way. Even when you discipline them, tell them the reason why you are disciplining them. Let them know it's not hatred, it's love. And lastly, mistake that parents do make is that, listen, it doesn't matter the circumstances, it doesn't matter what really happened that made you conceive that child. I'm telling you, that's a new life. It doesn't matter what happened, what conspired that made you conceive that child. It doesn't matter. But do not pour out the anger that you are having in that child, because if you do, you are creating a monster. I'm telling you. See, children, they are very, very empty. They are very, very empty. It's what you give to them that they'll bring back to you. All right? So that's all I have for today. And thank you so much for watching. And I would like to say, if this is your first time, I'd like you to encourage you to like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. God bless you.